Oh. Oh. Ah. Oh no. I've seen the ads, you've probably seen the ads. Now let's talk about the efficacy. Are these products actually worth buying? Sometimes I get a lot of ads for the same product and I kind of wonder what their plan was. It's like I got it the first 20 times you showed me. But like on time 100, I'm like, okay, you know what? Now I don't want to buy it. But nevertheless, here we are. We're gonna try them out together. We're gonna see if they taste good, if they work well, if they're worth the, in some cases, splurge. And we're gonna start with the brand Mudwtr or Mudwtr. Those pesky vowels, they're just getting everyone's way. Mudwtr is being advertised as sort of a healthier coffee alternative, something that is going to give you the jitters, it's going to give you that calm energy and sort of keep you more stable versus the jitteriness of coffee. I wouldn't know because I will never give up coffee. Even if you're delicious Mudwtr, I can't. You see how I went protectively to my coffee? Like never, I will never give you up. But anyway, Mudwtr. What's loaded into their products is a lot of the adaptogens, the functional mushroom. The lion's mane, that's the one I have off the top of my head because it was just, I remember seeing that and being like, that is a wild name for a mushroom. But there are a lot of different varieties that do a lot of different things that have antioxidant properties to them. They help with brain fog, clarity, energy without the jitteriness. They have a couple of different varieties. They have matcha, turmeric, rest. They have their original one. And so I bought it and we need to test it out first thing in the morning and see if it can actually replace my coffee. It won't. I'm just saying this like long term, but like, how do I feel after having it in the morning?
We weren't mad at coffee, just disappointed. I don't need this negativity in my life. Basically, you can put whatever you want in it. So I'm gonna try it on its own and then we'll see what I need to add to it. What do you smell like? Mildly earthy? I have my hot water, in it goes. There's so much. It just keeps going. Okay. It's a lot. It's a lot of mushrooms. This is my little whiskey guy. Okay. So you can see looking at it there, I mean, it doesn't look chunky, so that's good. It's a good step. All right, I'm gonna try this on its own, and then I'm gonna try it with stuff. I feel like that's only fair. Even though I would never have coffee without stuff in it. Okay, I taste the cinnamon. Mildly earthy, but mostly don't really taste anything. Christopher, can you try this? I need to know if it tastes earthy.
I actually do smell cinnamon.
You smell things?
I know.
Wow.
Comes and
Mudwtr, that's a stamp of approval right there. Christopher can smell the stuff. It's not even that strong. Are your superpowers coming back?
I guess.
Now, do you taste anything? I don't think I ever hold the camera this way to you. In like vlog style, like this. This is how I film things. You're never at this angle.
I never see the camera like that. It's pleasant.
Very mild.
Very mild.
Very mild. It doesn't really have, they're like, you could add honey to it, a little milk.
I don't think it needs honey.
I was gonna add
Maybe
sugar,
some cream?
but like, yeah, maybe. Kind of mushroomy,
Yeah.
but not mushroomy. It
It's-
doesn't taste like mushrooms.
You know what it tastes like to me is apple cider, but without the apple sweetness. You know what I mean?
No.
Like it's got that hot apple cider consistency.
Yes.
And the warm spices. It just
Yes.
doesn't have the apple taste.
Yeah, it doesn't have any of that tartness of the apple. It doesn't have any of the apple-ness. I understand what you're saying now. Okay. I was like, I'm not following what you're saying.
You know that whole like apple cider thing, but without anything that makes it apple cider? You get where I'm going.
Yeah. It's sort of like, you know what it is? It's exactly, you know when you get tea?
Yeah.
And you're like, this tea smells fantastic, and then
Tea
you have
smells
it.
amazing.
Tea smells so good, and then you taste it, and you're like, this tastes 0.05% of what it smells like. That's what this is.
I don't know.
It's not unpleasant.
More than
I'm just
that.
saying it's very like, it's just very mild, which is good. It's mostly mushrooms.
I would say this is among the better of the. I assume this
Functional
is like
mushrooms?
a liquid or powder or something
Yep.
like that. Yeah. So like you've tried more than a few of those over
yeah.
the years. This is in the top tier.
For sure. For sure. It's not powdery. It's not
You got that
weird tasting.
lion's mane one a while ago. That was not great.
This one has lion's mane in it.
Okay, well
A
this is
whole bunch
better
of
then.
other ones. There you go. Yeah, honestly, it's not that bad. I'm trying to think of what I want to put in it, though. I feel like I should at least try it with some milk or something. I just do regular milk. I don't, well, obviously I can do almond milk, but I don't do oat or any other ones. So I'm going to put some of that in. Ooh, cream or milk? I'm worried the cream is going to overpower.
I would have said cream, but I mean,
Got half of
you
it?
might be right.
No, I'm going to do milk. I got it everywhere, but it's fine. Whoa, just hitting things. It's too early in the morning. Honestly, that is better. Honestly, that's better. Taste, tell me it is not better.
It's not better.
What?
No, don't like that.
Oh, I find that to be so much better.
No, I liked it before.
Really, you wanted it with nothing in it?
Yep.
So weird, Christopher. Honestly, I think it's better. It's not bad if you find that caffeine gives you like jitters, but you want something, or you've been looking for a way to incorporate a more like a functional mushroom into your life. I mean, this has fantastic ratings. I find the taste to be like it's not unpleasant. It's not like, wow, I can't wait to have more of that. However, I will continue to drink this because I know it has good health benefits in it, and it's not like a gross taste, you know? It's fully neutral. That's exactly what it is. It's just neutral.
Next up, I want to talk about a cookware brand. This is the brand Kilne. It is a Canadian brand that creates these different cookware elements that are supposed to be multifunctional. They're non-stick, but in a healthy way. Many of their pots and their pans and things, I don't know if it's all of them, but at least the ones that I've seen are made in Italy. They've focused a lot on the ergonomic design, the usability, the practicality of a lot of their different items, and they come in some fun colors, which is kind of cool. So I got the big pan. These things are not cheap. However, if it's going to stand the test of time, I'm all in. I got the Dijon shade, which I think is really pretty. Oh my gosh, it kind of matches my shirt. Look at that. It's like pasta. It's just bubbling away in there. It comes with a lid. It has these self-basting dots in it. Everything can go into the oven. They have specific temperatures for if you're just using the pan versus the pan and the lid. However, I think that with the lid, it can go up to almost 500 degrees Fahrenheit, 480 degrees Fahrenheit with the lid, even more without the lid, if that wasn't clear. They do have very specific instructions in using this particular one. I'm sure they're different for a lot of their different products that they offer, but for this one in particular, it came with a piece of paper. So it indicated that this pan in particular works best on low to medium heat. So if we're on like a 10 scale, it's like a 5 and under, which is just an interesting note because it can go pretty high in the oven, but not so much on the stove. Just something to keep in mind when you're like fleshing out what cookware you want, what pieces you want to incorporate. I really like the fact that it has a really high side to it, which is great. I actually already used it once. I've used it once because I decided to make myself some, I guess it's technically lunch, but kind of brunch. So let's turn this on, let it heat up. I'm doing between medium and low. So I'm gonna put a little bit of oil and some butter in. All right, now let us put in the eggs. We're gonna test how non-stick you are. I just realized I was using absolutely the wrong burner size for that, so we fixed it now. I mean, so far so good. Not demonstrating any sign. I mean, it shouldn't. This is the first time I'm using this. Following all the rules. So I guess let's see what happens when it's fully cooked. Okay, we have fully cooked eggs, and so far so good. No stick. Hooray! So I mean, it's done well so far. It cleaned well. First time that's a positive. So I'm gonna continue to use this over the next couple of weeks. We'll insert some footage here of how well it holds up in like dinners and just everyday cooking.
Okay, so I've been using this pan for the last couple of weeks. I have some thoughts. So first of all, while it is fairly non-stick, like despite using like the oils, butters, whatever, I still would say like it does, like for eggs and things like that, it's not as non-stick as I would kind of hope. It's about the same level as the ones we got. It's the Henkel's. These ones right here is like a Hexclag knockoff. Same level of non-stick, like you really do have to oil and butter the pan up. But the Kilne one, they recommend low to medium heat versus the Henkel's one. You can do high heat on it and whatever. Now again, that's their recommendation for preserving the length of the utility of your pan, would be my guess, because it does go in a really hot oven, so I don't know. I really like the high sides on it. I think that is fantastic. The handle itself, like the grip is really nice. It's weighted well, I find. So I mean, if you're doing a lot of like low, medium heat or oven stuff, then maybe this is a good option. However, if you're looking to sear and, you know, use high heat on a pan and all those things, I don't know if that would be the best fit. Again, if you want to preserve the, you know, the craftsmanship of the pan, if you will, because they are expensive. So for me, this isn't something that would fit very well into the repertoire of things that we tend to cook a lot of here. But I will say I do really like the side of the pan. Like that's really nice for things like pastas and sauces and things like that. But yeah, that's my thoughts on it.
Okay, now I want to talk to a Shark product that I have been testing in the background. Not here technically, I don't know why I did that, but in my home for the last week and a half or so, and that is the Shark NeverChange air purifier. And their whole pitch, I mean, it's pretty clear from the title of the product, name of the product, is that you don't need to change the air filter like you would a traditional air purifier. It's one that you can wash and reuse over and over and over again, which is, that's a big point of difference. That's a distinction that I had given pause to, and I was like, huh, that you can convince me on that one, Shark. It has a HEPA filter in it as well as a carbon filter, and it can filter out and show you how it's filtering out the different levels of particle size from P1 all the way to P10. So before I go upstairs and show you, I want to talk about my first reaction with the product, because I put it to use, I was like, okay, it's not a big one, so it's not going to do, you know, my entire main floor or anything like that, but I was going to stick it in one of my kids' rooms. So I just stuck it in there, and it gave me a reading that gave me pause, because they basically have a blue, yellow, and red system of how good your air quality is. And for that particular room, it was red. And I was like, oh no, that's not good. Well, my whole house must be just awful air quality. Anyway, I had it was running and running and running for a couple of hours, and I was like, oh my gosh, like what is happening? What is going on? I haven't put an air purifier in that room, so I was like, okay, what is happening right now? Within a couple of hours, it was up to 100. So now with that room specifically, because I do want to mention it, I was like, okay, it's up to 100 now. What happens if I move this purifier to a bunch of different rooms and then revisit this room in a couple of days? Is it going to go back down into the red zone, or is it going to stay at 100? Like what's going on? So I would shift it back to that room every couple of days to see what the air quality was saying it was at, and it would stick to 98. You know, like it was holding, which I found really interesting. The other thing that I noticed, again, we are gonna go upstairs. I wanna show you guys and test it a little bit, but I wanna talk about it first, because then I moved it to another room, and that one, it was, you know, a little bit better air quality. And so I had it running for a couple of hours. Again, same test, and it would continue to hold. It came up to 100, it was fine. Then I moved it to the third child's bedroom. And this one was interesting because in that room, I have one of those tall Dyson fans with the filter on it. So, and that's sort of like his noise machine basically. And he gets hot, that room can get hot, so that's why I have the fan running. And that was interesting because I put the air purifier in there, and the air quality was at 100, which I thought was just very interesting. I was like, huh, okay, well, now I know that the Dyson one's working, that's good. I stuck it in our room, and our room was good. I stuck it even downstairs in like multiple different spots. Again, the air quality was still holding. Again, I don't think it's an accurate test to test it in a big wide open space, because again, it's only meant for a certain capacity, but it was a very interesting test. So let's go look at it. Okay, so you can see it has the different settings on the side and whatever, and it's at 100% now in the room where it was awful before. And I like that up on here, you can see all the different things. So like you can switch through and see the particles that are at 1, 2.5, and 10, and then the percent of air that's clean, which is pretty cool. There's an auto setting, you can child lock it, you can check the filter, I think, as well. Yeah, so check dust filters, it's not on, like it's 94%, but it was at 100% before, so like, I don't need to check it. It has a timer mode. You can set the fan to whatever level you want. This, by the way, I should explain this. This had like it's an odor eliminator, kind of it looks like a little tuna container that you pop in, and you can adjust the level of odor elimination. I didn't like the scent that was coming out of it. It was too air freshenery, and it's not necessary, so I just took it out. That's in case you were wondering what that is. Let's see if I move this to another room, if this changes at all. I don't think I've tried it in the laundry room, so let's try it there. Okay, my laundry room is a disaster, but this is the only spot that it can reach an outlet. I'm gonna turn it on. Then it's going to assess the air. Assess it. 97, 92, 95. Oh my goodness. I don't know where it's vibing at. It's somewhere in the 90s though, so that's good. So then it'll just adjust the level of fan, and then it'll go until it feels like, you know what, this is clean. You're good here. So honestly, that's pretty good. Good for me. I really thought this would be dusty and gross, but apparently not. Overall, I really like it. I like that it's quite scientific in terms of assessing the different particle levels. I like that it has multiple levels of filtration. I like the fact that I don't have to change the filter. I just have to kind of clean it when it needs it. And for those of you who are curious about the PM, what that kind of stands for in the different levels, so there's different sizes of particles, and so it's from dust, smoke, debris, mold. It can pick up, I think, even airborne illnesses. So I had it running in my daughter's room when she was sick. Like it covers a lot of different bases, which is interesting. And the fact that I don't have to buy a filter for it, thumbs up. No notes, absolutely. Okay, next up I want to talk about a brand that I've been using their products for years now, which is interesting because I have been fed so many ads on YouTube and on, I think, TikTok, but maybe Instagram. So many ads. And that is the brand Pela. Pela creates phone cases, and I think just in general tech cases that are made of flax straw. So it is compostable and biodegradable. I have been buying and using their phone cases for years now. I think this is phone 3, and I have a couple of cases for them. They have a lot of fun designs on them, and they have protected my phone so unbelievably well. And they've got this nice feel to them. I don't know how to explain it. They've got that nice rubbery feel, but it still has some grip to it. I've dropped my phone multiple times with these cases and had no issues at all. The buttons aren't difficult to press on them. It's just such a, I can't explain it. They're so good. I have to show you the other one I have. They are a Canadian brand, I think based out of BC. And you can see they're nice and flexible. They have a little bit of this speckling to them, just in terms of the, the type of product that they're using. It's not completely uniform. I kind of like that though. So I have this one, which has the horses on it. Actually, I want to change it because this is, I don't know. I've been using this one forever and I need to change a little switch. I talk about these with, I love them so much. So this is one I have ads for, but I've already tested it and I love them. I love these cases so much. They're so good. You have to help me resolve. What do you think of this case? Okay, I think it's really cute. Lo does not agree with me. I want to get it. I want a tomato case. Something about the graphics, it speaks to me, and I need to know. I need to know, is it cute or am I crazy? The next product is probably the most expensive product. Not even probably, it is the most expensive product that we're testing here today. It is an investment. But I haven't stopped seeing ads for it, which probably tells you something about the cleanliness of my home apparently. And that is the Dyson WashG1 wet floor cleaner. What makes this product apparently stand out from the other wet floor cleaners is that this one is going to not only clean your floors with, you could just use water. You can use some cleaners and stuff in it, but they have very big specifications in terms of what you can put in it, but you could just use water. It is self-cleaning, which is huge. No one wants to clean those things, I can promise you that. And it's gonna pick up any dry debris as well as wet. And not just that, but it's also gonna separate it for you. So it has a tray for all of the dry stuff, and then it has a separate tank for all of the wet. They have 3 different settings depending on what kind of messes you're dealing with. And so I figured, let's go upstairs and clean my bathroom floor because it is disgusting and needs a good clean. Let's see what it picks up. All right. Let's unbox. When I tell you that my floor is disgusting in here, I need you to understand that this is intentional. Because I knew I was gonna test this, and so I didn't clean. She is, hey, look at her, wow. Oh, she's not gonna stand up right. Okay, we'll just set it, okay. Oh, this is for charging it. I got you. Well, I love that it gives directions. The directions are very clear with a series of pictures. Click, remove it this way, just like they said. And then I fill this one with water. You want water? I'll give you water. Now I'm gonna do this with just water because that is what they said to do. The max line is very tall on this one and it is shorter on this one, just of note. Don't worry, I'll get it, she said. Not getting it. Okay. Clicky in, pop. There's the debris tray, and then it's got these like fun little, these guys. And these are, again, it's supposed to be self-cleaning, is my understanding. We're gonna test it all. Before I do that, I am gonna confirm that I'm not missing anything. It doesn't come with instructions. I assume that means it'll be very clear. I could download the app, I suppose, but it doesn't seem like it's necessary. Let's turn it on. Can I turn it on now? Is it gonna do some stuff? Let's zoom you out. Best I can do. Okay, let's try this. Okay. I don't understand. I need to source some instructions because I'm pressing the button that has like the number of drops on it. I thought you could change it from like a slow, like a low, medium, high type thing. I can't, hold on. Okay, when I figured it out, I was just pressing the max button for like stubborn, stuck on stuff. I got it, I figured it out now. It's showing me a movie. I don't even know if you guys can see it. Full on a movie right now. I genuinely have no idea if you can see that or not, but anyway. Okay, so initial thoughts. I am going to take this downstairs and test it out there, but I want to kind of show you what I was noticing. Okay, starting off with the edges. I feel like that is an area that I haven't noticed with the other, I've tried to think 2 different wet vacuums, and they all aren't very good at the corners or the edges. This one, it says like it has cleaners along the edges to make it easier to pick up grime and whatever that's in a corner. So I mean, did it pick up stuff? Yeah, it did pick it up as well as a vacuum would though. So I would still feel like I would want to, this needs to get cleaned immediately. I would still want a regular vacuum for a lot of this like dust that piles up. So I feel like if you have pets, this isn't a good option to use in replacement to a vacuum, I mean. The other thing is noting that it is quite wide. So areas like beside the toilet, for example, like I wouldn't be able to fit this in there. So keeping that in mind, like this is probably really good for big, wide open spaces. And lastly, I found a spot down here that I was trying to get up off, and it did get most of it off, but this little bit is still kind of stuck on there. Even when I used the maximum, it wasn't picking it up. Is that the end of the world? No. I have to use my nails to get it off. So like that probably wasn't a fair assessment. There was a couple of like spots and stuff that it did do a pretty good job at, but I'm gonna let it charge a little bit. Left that behind. I'm gonna let it charge for a bit, and then we're gonna try it on the downstairs, which I feel like it's going to pick up a lot. Okay, I wanna mimic one of the like test things that they did, which was like a bunch of, I mean, they had milk on the floor, but I'm not doing that. And then some cereal. Beautiful. How does this do on that? I'm trying to assess if that was there before. That's a full on, that's a scratch. This do that? There's no way. Oh, ah, are you seeing that? Oh no, I wanna know if you're scratching my floors. I'm not gonna use you if you're gonna scratch. I can't tell. This is kind of scratchy, but not that scratchy. And then you're supposed to put it immediately onto the charging station, which is why I guess this shouldn't happen. Before I get back to this, I'm gonna go in a more inconspicuous spot and just vacuum it. Make sure it's not, you know, scratching my floors. I need you to understand there's one piece of dirt on the floor and I can't pick it up. I'm getting annoyed. Okay, so I mean, the floor is pretty grimy. I will give it that. Let's see what's in the little pull-out thing here. Well, that didn't pick up quite the grime I was expecting. And if you don't put it immediately on its charger, it does drip everywhere, which again, it does say that, but you know, just so you know. Okay, so my thoughts. Based solely on using this again, one time in a couple of spots. Immediately don't love that it doesn't have great suction. Like it's not picking up the grime and stuff. Like there were like little pieces of Parmesan in the corner. There were like little things that the Dyson, which I love, the vacuum, would pick up immediately. This isn't doing that. And you're supposed to use it with just water to clean and vacuum up stuff and things like that. I don't have enough messes like they were indicating, like sticky on the floor, stuff like that, that I can justify having something like this, especially because, again, you can put cleaner in it, I think, is what it was saying, but it wasn't intended for that. They just said, like, you can use it if you want, just use this kind, use a little bit, make sure it's with diluted, don't use bleach, like that kind of stuff. So you can. And I think that that would probably be more effective, but I'm not getting it as like an all-in-one vacuum plus wet plus dry, like that whole thing. I would feel better about vacuuming first and then using something like that. I found that that got into the edges a lot better than the Tinco one that I used did. I didn't notice any streakiness. It was leaving a nice soft finish to the floor. It wasn't super wet. So those things are all in favor of it, but it is an expensive machine. So for me, I personally don't buy it. I just, if it's gonna do all those things, I want it to do all those things super, super well. And I feel like it's missing a bit on that. But maybe I'm missing something. So let me know if you have tried a product like this. It's such an expensive machine, and if it's not going to pick up the dry debris that it says it's going to, I can't justify it, you know? Let me know in the comments if you've come across any of these products before, or if there are any products that you see a ton of ads for that we need to test out. Check out these videos on the side for more overly sponsored products that we have tested in the past. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed, and make sure you subscribe. New videos here every single Saturday. I hope you guys are having a fantastic, fantastic one, and I will see you guys all in the next video.